beyond what the world expects of me.
Yes.
I feel like that's what you were really exploring in this project, because you have so many intersecting identities, and to me that was fire. So can you like lean into that process with yourself a little bit?
Well, I hate to bring it back to the Bible, but now there were so many men and women who you would find them in the wilderness, and they came with big revelations, that they went and retreated to nature, whether it was a desert, whether it was a forest. Like there was a prophet named Deborah who would sit underneath a palm tree. Like there were people, like nature and divinity are something that is hand in hand. Like our souls get something that we just can't get from regular conversation when we go to the creation and just like sit in it and allow ourselves to be small in that space. Like I go to nature so I can realize that all of these problems that are in my head have nothing to do with the how long this tree has been here. Because I've been here for like 28 years, and this tree has been here through plagues, through stock market crashes, through Kanye being great and being wild, through through everything, and nature has stood the test of time. And I know that I can find a lot of peace in that even the problems that I see, or even the ways that I even see reality in my world around me, they're going to shift and change, but that tree isn't going to change. And that tree is just like an echo of what I perceive God to be like as well. It's like, I want to be rooted like that tree. I want to be grounded like that tree. But the only way that I can understand that I'm going to walk out in that and know who I am and whose I am is understanding that there's gotta be a lot of coming home to me and really just shedding off the stuff that wasn't me. I say this because I coach creatives, and I coach them to be the most authentic selves. And something that I tell them is that if you were to imagine yourself to be a flower, right? Like any kind of flower, even this snake plant, right? This snake plant, I don't know if y'all can see it behind the keyboard. It's a snake plant. It's a snake plant. I just told you what it was.
I know.
All right now. But this snake plant has specific needs and specific things about it in order for it to thrive. And every single person on this earth is just like that snake plant. But they're not that snake plant, because some of you might be orchids, some of you might be roses, some of you might be like whatever. Like we have so many different ways of expressing, and we need to have the perfect environment within us to know how to thrive. But you can't know how to thrive if you don't know who you are. And we don't spend time actually knowing and getting to know who we are. Because we allow so many people to say, oh, well, I see you as like a Erykah Badu or like a India Arie, or, if you just mix up a little bit of Aaliyah, you'll be so great. And it's like, how about we ask Namarah what Namarah feels like? Because Namarah might have inspirations that come from none of these people. It might sound like it because it's familiar, but if I look at that and you say like, somebody might say it's a really big piece of grass. I would fight them. I would fight them. But someone would look at this plant and say, well, it looks like this. It reminds me of this, so therefore it must be that. And that's us going up in every single space. I'm not for that, but I feel myself rambling, so I'm going to bring it back.
Perfectly fine. You want to one more before we get to the next step?
Yeah, so I did have one more question. I would be remiss as a creative, as a musician, not to dip into like the production aspect of this stuff. So I told you earlier that these ballads really punctuate the tape for me. And I consider Sin the first one. I consider mine the second one. I consider Daya the third one. And these ballads, as you guys will come to listen, they're really big. Mine specifically though, it starts off with these, and I'm doing a little bit of math, and I know how you feel about the math, but it starts off with these stacked vocals through the central channel, and it's giving us this like really haunting feel. And the whole track is really, really open. And I'm not trying to be comparative, I know how creators are.
You can.
I'm gonna just say it once. Leon LaHavis.
Oh, I love her as well.
Okay, good, thank God.
So good.
Okay.
So good.
She has similar approaches to ballads.
She does.
So can you talk to me about how deliberate you were in creating the feel for mine.
Absolutely. So when I started writing this song, I was actually journeying to Bass Harbor, Maine. That's where I recorded most of the project. So I had the ability to go and transform this barn in the middle of the wilderness into a recording studio. And I was super excited about that, first of all, because I was like, I'm gonna go on a journey to make some music. Yeah. And that was how happy I was. But I had this instrument called a kalimba, and I was gonna perform it, but it's not necessarily, I need to retune it, honestly. So I was like, we're not gonna do that. But I brought it so that you guys can look at it and see it. But this instrument is one that one of my mentors, he's from Uganda, he taught me how to play this instrument, and it's a percussive acoustic instrument. So when you strike it, for me, it sounds like the wind, and also like it's very soul wrenching. And so we're driving to Bass Harbor, Maine, and that's hours. It's just hours in a Sprinter vehicle with like 7 other people. So I, at one point, just needed to completely check out, and I found myself going into this meditative state to kind of regain my energy, and I just started playing these dissonant tones on the kalimba, and those dissonant tones helped me calm and slow down my breathing. It helped me come into center and come into me. And I just was like, you know what, there's something here. And then I remember we took a stop. We were just getting off of the main line, and there was this tone, I could just hear it, and I started to meditate on that. So for me, when I start feeling like a big song is coming, it usually comes to me in pieces. So I started finding those pieces coming together. And once I had that chord of the da 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 da, and it would move like that, I noticed that I needed, even though it was moving so quickly, to also have like this slow pull. And I started to feel like the ocean itself is this, and I talk in colors. So when I work with people who, I need to work with people who like understand my speech. Shout out to Dan. I don't know where he went.
You just walked out.
Whatever. No, but one of my dear friends, Dan, that boy good. He's one of those producers who, when I would say like I need something to feel purple and blue, they would know what it feels like, and they know because I'm a synesthetic. So when I hear sound, I feel it all over my body. I also see it physically, but it also like it has like a sense and a smell. Like I'm like really getting all of these senses. So I was like, I just need to be in water. I need to be in water in this sound. I need to create sounds that sound like that water. And when you think about it, when you first dive into the water, when you first going into the water, it hits you all at once, which is that vocal like, come. So you're diving in. But once you dive in, you're suddenly in this world where it's open in space, and that is just like the ocean when you're underwater, or maybe in the womb. I'm imagining what it would be like in like the gross amniotic fluid. Like, it's not gross. It's not gross. It's very beautiful. But it's all water. So if you're imagining that you're there in that space, it's like,
This is baby boys coming from out.
it's a song of birthing. It's a song of birthing. It's about birthing newness and birthing new identities. So you have to understand that there's going to be that kind of space there. So that openness starts to come when I invited a friend, Zach, because all of the instruments in that song in particular are all live. So there's cello, there's kalimba, there's vocals, there's a cajon there's a full kit. There's also there's like this, oh gosh, what was it? It was, so we had opened up the upright piano and started to struck the strings of it as well, just to create more dissonance. And I remember when I started to actually record the song, that I was like, this is probably one of the hardest songs I'm gonna sing, because I haven't given birth yet. Serious. No, like there was like a certain, like I haven't actually, I'm not a mom, I haven't experienced motherhood, so that conversation with my grandmother and my mom really allowed me to kind of embody what it would feel like to sing from that perspective. And so that had to be something that I had to listen to. So I listened to that recording over and over and over and over again before I would even step into the studio and sing that. So there was a ton of intentionality of that. And if you listen to it, there is this like even the sound of rain that you're hearing in the music, that came because one of the nights it was storming in the barn, and one of my producers who was just focused just solely on the drums took his iPhone and was like, I need to capture this sound. So all of the sounds that you hear in mine are coming from a real time-sensitive place, and I thought that was super important.
I love that. Thank you so much for even breaking that joint down, because that immerses the listener in even more. So thank you for that. But we would love to get into these next two songs.
Oh yeah, it's a different vibe.
Okay.
Let me get out your way.
Okay. We actually don't need the keyboard anymore.
Ooh, we can get this drum struck.
Yeah, if we could, that would be great. I'm not gonna do it though. Thank you. Thanks, Will. You're the bomb. .com. Yeah, that's why I said, I was like, y'all ain't gonna give Will his props? Like, wow. No.
I'm ready for you, I'm here for you, all I do is love. You just have to open the door, let me walk in, live inside you. Everything will fall into place when you know who you are, more than a soul. Together we make a difference, like crystal gems, 'cause we can't be alone. Cause baby, when we fall apart, we super lovers, they won't touch us, we just too high. But when we can't come against us, they flee from us, they won't touch us, we just too high. Oh, we just too high. So point me in the right direction, speak intentions, tell me what you want. Tell me what you want, I give you the keys to get it, faith will bring it and put you in. Everything I wanted to do, only happens alive inside you. 'Cause I'm over here just waiting for you. Are you ready for me? Yeah. 'Cause baby, when we fall apart, we super lovers, they won't touch us, we just too high. When we can't come against us, they flee from us, they won't touch us, we're just too high. And give this man, Dan, a round of applause. Because he can resolve Look, I love to give love as often as I can. So
song is called Dea, featuring that kalimba there. And this is the title track of the album. And it talks about that coming home and recognizing all that you are.
Your life was not a failed life. I will rewind to show you all that it would go through was divine. Like a precious wine needs to be refined and reinfused. I take all the parts to make a sweeter juice. So be not ashamed of your mistakes. One time, until you thought to drive away my design. I know the pain you face, you pray for better days. I will provide the work you force out. I'm breathing, give new You believed I forgot more than you knew, and I turned my ear away from you. No, it's like a father loves his child. I'll give you new wings to watch you fly. So be not terrified of heartaches, nor leave you cry until you thought to drive away. See, I'm inside, and all the pain you face, you breathe for better days. For the breath you force out, I'm breathing, give new
I mean, wow.
Okay.
I mean, wow. I'm sorry, I'm gonna make another comparison.
I know you lying.
It's me. I'm choosing violence. This is probably I would say my third. I love the ballads. I love the ballads because I think they tell me that this tape is not all fun and games. But when you, especially on the track, the approach is very Beyonce to the ballad. I would like you to talk about Dea, this song specifically, and also what it means to you, because when you see Dea, especially how it's spelled, I'm thinking it's your middle name, 2-syllable hella vowels. But it actually means something that's very significant. So if you could talk about that and the song itself, I would really appreciate it.
Dea means new ideas. So I love words and I love anagrams, so I love little puzzles. So I saw the word idea and then I saw the letters just kind of creating a new name. And that action was just creating a picture of what it looks like to actually allow new ideas to resonate within you. And the whole song, this song in particular, is the reason why I even wrote the album. It was in this dark place where I was, out in that collective world, and I had found this instrument, the kalimba. It was the first time that I played it, and I remember I just gotten into my apartment and I just needed to find just kind of space. And it was 2 o'clock in the morning, December 2016, on the 16th. It was 2 a.m. And I remember I just needed to play something to again come back home to me. And so for whatever reason, I just felt like I needed to record this moment. And I had no words. So I was just like, and I was vibing to me, right? And so life had led me back home. I was in upstate New York then. So a year later, I was home living with my parents in Jersey. And I had a dream looking at myself, bird's eye view, like looking at me playing this kalimba, but instead of me humming, were all the words that I just sang. Not a single word was altered from that dream. As soon as I woke up, I went to my journal and I was just like covered in tears, just like I had to release this because my entire year was exactly this story that I was in that place where I thought that when I first was humming, I was like, I felt like my life was at rock bottom. There was a lot of things just going wrong. And that whole year was me really like allowing myself to explore my relationship with God, but also for me to like close a lot of spaces that I just needed to cut off, right? But then I also just found myself coming alive to my dreams again. And so when I woke up from that dream, I just suddenly, I was ready to write songs again. I was ready to play music, and I was just overcome with this joy because that song, that line, the breath you forced out, I breathe in and give you new life. It was like I actually found myself breathing again. I found myself dreaming again. I found myself coming awake to who I knew I was, but I had forgotten. And I felt like this song, I was like, I don't know, but I feel like this song is going to hit a lot of people who felt like me. And I need to record this immediately. And so the next day, let me be real. 15 minutes later after I wrote that, I was in tears and I was like, Mom, I'm going to write this album and people are going to hear it and they're going to feel healing. And she was like, what? Because it's 2 o'clock in the morning, But I really felt like it. And it opened me up to really just trust that what I was writing and how I was writing and how I was doing it was okay and it was necessary and needed. And that was the journey. And so with this song in particular, so mine is like the mother heart and Dea is like, this is the father heart, that kind of perspective. Because it is still like coming from that perspective of God, but it's really just understanding, like I got you. Like even when you got lost, you thought like, oh hey, you're gonna be out here on this water walking, but actually no, I have you. And even if you feel like you're not becoming who you are, I have you. And there was like a sure confidence because it came with the name, like the Dea, the new idea was allowing yourself to be like, hey, embrace this new chapter, embrace this new season, because recognize that now you're in this new season, everything's about to change. And it did. I wrote an album.
And we love it.
Thank you so much for sharing that story. But y'all heard a lot of us ask these questions. We were ready and did our due diligence. However, we want to invite y'all in now if you have any comments or questions or anything you wanted Namarah to lean into with this. So we'll give y'all a little bit of time to think about that, John, because at first, it's someone's birthday week here. Mr. Zachary, can you come here real quick? Come on real quick. Happy birthday, brother. My good friend, my good brother. And Sean fan, through and through. Happy birthday. Good birthday.
Happy birthday. I don't know your name, friend. Happy birthday to you.
That's a wonderful human right there. Make sure you get to know him. But yes, so you had that little bit of happy birthday singing. So if you do have a comment or an extra question, feel free to line up over here. Because we got to stream all of the audio straight through here. Anybody got a comment? Come on up. Come on. Good. Cody, JJ.